Hey Dee.
Hi John.
How's it going?
Great, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I have a question for you that I want to ask YouTube. No, I want to ask you to give an answer to YouTube about. Hello YouTube.
Hi.
The platform YouTube. So I think almost every single training bootcamp that we've run, one of the questions that people ask afterwards is, isn't this all a little bit too fast? Isn't the sprint going so fast that you're losing cool ideas? You know, you're not really paying attention to how good the design is, and that like you're not really doing deep user research. Isn't it just too fast to be a real design process? It sounds like it couldn't be having good results, right? Yeah. They asked me a little bit more eloquently than that, but that's the thing, like, is the design sprint too fast?
Yeah.
What do you think?
People say this absolutely every time without fail, and it's because it feels that way, and we're not used to things feeling that way. And whenever something feels really different to what we're used to and what we've been doing, you're always like, this isn't right. This isn't the way I'm used to working. And the answer is, I think also, yes, it is really fast. And yes, you are gonna lose some bits of information. We often hear in a lot of exercises, people say, but there was a really great conversation happening there and I didn't get a chance, like not everyone got a chance to put their ideas down. And it's just, yes, that's true. That's what will happen. But the compromise that's happening is that even though not every single idea, you won't have like 3 hours to write an essay of all the different ways that you could solve a problem or all the different pieces of inspiration that you want to bring to the table. You'll just get the juicy ones. You'll just get the cream of the crop.
The juicy ones.
The juicy ideas, the juicy thoughts, the things that are really the top of mind of people. So when you go through an exercise and maybe you're only given 10 or 15 minutes for 5, 6, 7 people to all put in their input, you're just getting the things that are fresh in their mind, the things that have inspired them on that particular challenge that you're working on, and you will lose a lot of others. And the compromise that's happening is you lose a bit of information, you lose a few ideas, but you're actually getting something done. You're actually coming out with achieving something, and the balance that would go the other way if you went, no, let's give like a lot more time to get all the possible ideas, to get all those notes down, to get all that input from every single thing, then what you're losing is actually getting something done.
And you're losing time. I think that like...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like a standard design thinking process, which we used to work in, and in some ways it's really, really great. It gives a lot of time for idea gathering, idea capturing. But the problem is, it doesn't really matter if you've gathered all those ideas and captured everything. It's very difficult to actually execute on those things and make them into a real product.
Yeah.
With the sprint, it's making the assumption that you're going to lose a lot of information anyway, and it's about building momentum and moving forward and creating a blueprint for the team. There is time after the sprint when you're actually in the product process and when you've already validated the important things. Then that's the point where maybe you can start making your mood boards and doing much, much deeper research and going back into a more design thinking approach. But the sprint itself isn't about capturing every single idea. It is a moving fast and breaking things approach, but in the end you do get something done, you do get something tangible out of it. It does worry people, but I think the important thing to keep in mind going into the sprint is you need to have a slightly more throwaway approach to ideas, and you need to treat ideas in not such a like precious way. They're not precious things. They are things to help push you towards your solution, and the sprint is helping you figure out how to execute towards that solution as well. So I think the moral of the story is you need to be a little bit less precious if you want the sprint to work.
Yeah, learning how to actually sacrifice your opinions and thoughts and ideas, and not every single thing has to be gotten out on paper. Learning how to sacrifice that really pays off with the amount of stuff, the amount of output you actually get, and real produced output that you actually get. How many times have you worked on a project that's taken weeks or months of just compiling lots of information, and then so much time has passed that the situation's moved forward and it never gets used?
Yeah.
Like so many times.
Yeah, you just have like giant documents full of things that are just, sitting there on Dropbox for months and months and months, and you never come back to them, and in the end you're using the things that are top of mind anyway, right?
Yep.
It just becomes this, you feel good because you're after collecting so many ideas, but very often you just do nothing with them. One of the things as well to keep in the back of your head about ideas is that the good ones do stick. They do keep recurring.
Yeah.
So if you do many, many sprints, the ideas where it's like, oh my God, that's something that's really interesting, which maybe got passed over on the first sprint, maybe on the second sprint, maybe it just wasn't the right moment, maybe it was bad luck. But the good ideas, the things that that really might stick and really might make a difference, they keep recurring over and over again, and the sprint bubbles them up to the top.
Yeah.
So that's one reason I wouldn't be so precious about ideas, because the system itself almost is built to bring those back if they are valid. Okay, so hope that kind of, answered that question. So like and subscribe.